Born Before 64 is a TV show that asks the vital question, what will we do for the rest of our lives? Kathryn Raaker hosts a show for baby boomers and above, inviting real people to tell real stories about overcoming issues, about facing with courage and triumph the significant obstacles many of us face every day. Born Before 64 TV shows will cover topics that this generation is interested in. So let's join Kathryn Raaker for Born Before 64.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Born Before 64, and we're here today in Houston, Texas, and we're in the area called the Tanglewood, and it's a beautiful condominium area where we tape sometimes, thanks to the graciousness of the president of the association, Tom Speirs.
Thank you.
And his wife, beautiful wife,
Jackie.
Jackie. And Jackie, I heard that you are from South Africa. Is that true?
That's true, yes.
And how did the two of you meet?
Through a dating service.
A dating service?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was in my 40s.
And you were?
I was also.
You were in your 40s?
Yes, we're just a year apart.
You're a year apart. Mm-hmm. Were you living in the United States, Jackie?
Yes, I was.
And you were doing what?
I was working as an immigration assistant for a law firm that helped people immigrate to the U.S.
And you were working, Tom?
I had my own business at that time. I had a gourmet and imported food wholesale distribution business that I sold to the grocery stores.
Well, we need to get to know each other because that's what I do. I help do is I bring new products to Core-Mark and to the retailers as well.
Sure, I worked for I told you I worked for Core-Mark as one of their sales managers a long time ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Jackie's great disappointment was the fact that when I got out of the gourmet food business, she no longer had caviar on New Year's.
That's true.
I used to bring in beluga for New Year's.
I became
You became what?
very, very, very appreciative of it.
Spoiled? Spoiled is the word?
The woman was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. There's no question about it. Yeah.
Now, how long have you guys been married now? About 20 years?
How long have we been married, Jackie?
I can't remember
22.
when I was married.
22 years.
Well, you'd be surprised to know that I've been married 45.
Yeah, but you started earlier than we did.
No, but that was my second marriage. And I'm 70.
You're not 70.
Oh, yes, I am.
No, you don't look 70.
Born in 1944. Yes, I was.
My heavens. You look very young. You look very young.
Well, the key to living longer is to stay as active as you can.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
True.
True. Yeah.
Now, you moved here when? Did you retire?
No.
You're still working?
I still work. I now sell health insurance for a living.
Would it be the kind of health insurance for seniors?
No. I sell regular health insurance for the juniors.
For the juniors?
Yeah. I sell the health insurance the president is trying to stop.
Oh, well.
I probably shouldn't be political.
No, I think you could be, because
I'm a little right of Attila the Hun.
I am too.
Good.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Actually, I think Obamacare is the worst program we've ever had on earth.
I can tell you, as I have done it for over 10 years.
Right.
It is not health care. It is not health insurance, I should say. It is health care. That's what they have designed. And it is absolutely diametrically opposed to what health insurance was. It makes no sense whatsoever. One of the little-known facts about the industry is that every health insurance agent in the United States has had a reduction in their income of approximately 75% because of the mismanagement of the federal government. The program will fail. All of my clients this year are seeing increases of well over 20%. The people who are signing up for health care this year are signing up with premiums that are just absolutely astronomical. I quoted a family, a husband and wife and 4 children, Catholic, I think, that had a health insurance premium that'll run somewhere between $1,600 and $1,900 a month.
And you know the sad part about it, and I haven't shared this with you yet, Jackie, I used to live in England, so I lived under national health.
Jackie did too.
And by the way, unfortunately, the best part of this whole thing is that a few years ago, I was on the council in Chicago with insurance companies and hospitals, and I was representing the media.
Okay.
And I stood up and said, you do not want to do this. This is the stupidest thing you could ever want to do in your life, because guess what? In Britain and a lot of other countries, they're going to private health care because they found that national health care was bad, not great. It was horrible. I can tell you that I had a broken jaw from a very distraught dentist who was under national health care. And I had to have thousands of dollars worth of dental care when I got back to the States. I can tell you that I had to go to the hospital and have a wart burned off, and they gave me nothing for the pain, and I had to drive home with it. So am I a proponent of this kind of health care insurance? No way. Not at all. It's the worst. And I work with doctors and insurance companies, and I believe that our system was, it was fine until they started messing up with it. And to hear Gruber get on television.
Awful.
That was awful. And I'm the kind of media person that is like not the others. I believe that you should be transparent. I think that you should tell people what's really going on.
Exactly.
Right? And that's why we came up with Born Before 64.
Well, Jackie can tell you she lived in London, but she also, before she became an American citizen, was a Canadian citizen and lived in Canada under their health care system.
Right.
And Jackie, who's had lots of health challenges,
Right.
can tell you about it in Canada. And of course, she's had 17 hip replacements. So we live in fear now that the new program is in effect, that ultimately they will attack Medicare and the senior citizens. And my concern is that Jackie will want to have care that the government will refuse because it doesn't make sense for a senior citizen to have it.
Right.
Well, understand the motivation behind it was two things: redistribution of wealth,
Right.
and control of the population, control of the masses. That's exactly
right.
what this
That's
man.
called communism.
That's
by
right.
the way.
That's what this man is doing, and it is his avowed purpose to do that. He wishes to be the king, and this is what he's established. He's established a system in which the government will make all our decisions for us.
And we don't
And
want that, do we? No, we don't want that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tell me, if today, do people really, truly, Tom, understand when you sit down with them and tell them what options that they have? How do they feel?
They're quite shocked by the options that are available to the both pro and con. I was on the phone this morning with a gentleman who's been a client of mine for years and years, and he had medical issues, so he could not change policies because of pre-existing conditions. So when I was on the phone with him this morning, I explained to him that now there's no longer a pre-existing condition. He was shocked. When I explained to him how the tax subsidy program worked, he was shocked. And then he said, now this is a gentleman with a low income. In other words, he does not make a lot of money. Health care is very important to him. His wife happens to be under Medicaid, suffering from Alzheimer's, late stages Alzheimer's. So this man's got quite a burden to carry in the first place. He didn't understand all of the things, but the program was of benefit to him the way it was designed, and he still was smart enough to realize that it made absolutely no sense. He said, this is not insurance. He said, this is ridiculous. He was going to get a $500 per month break in his health insurance premium because his income was low enough that he qualified for the tax subsidy. But he understood that absence of pre-existing conditions and this kind of thing meant that it was really nothing more nor less than a redistribution of wealth. He understood what it was doing. It's taking from money people who can afford it, and it's providing it to people who cannot afford it. That's in itself is nothing wrong. In fact, you can ask any good conservative today if they would support a system of health care in this country in which people got health care who couldn't afford it. Free clinics, free medical assistance, free prescriptions. I don't think there's a conservative in the world that would object to that. In fact, this is heart and soul of our beliefs, is the fact that we feel we should take care of our fellow man. But we also believe that those who can afford to pay for benefits should pay for benefits.
Right.
And we should have a choice as to how we're doing things. Among other things, the system that they've designed is so horribly expensive. when if they just merely put a system in place to take care of those who needed help, would have been far less expensive.
I know, and actually we need to take a short break, and we'll be back and talk to Jackie after this, and Tom. And, you know, this is really stimulating. You know, people need to know this. It needs to be transparent, right, Tom?
It does.
And I'm so glad that you're in the insurance industry, because this is one of the things I like to talk about. We'll be right back on Born B464 right after these messages.